guys are from Vermont?
He's from Vermont. I'm from Colorado, and we're kind of doing a reunion of sorts, kind of a birthday reunion with close friends who were also living in Colorado until they moved to Vermont and Massachusetts.
Why Nantucket? Is this where the reunion is here on
This
Nantucket?
is a reunion, yeah.
With a local Nantucket group? Or?
No.
Okay.
So we lived together as when we were young in Boulder. We had kids together. We went to marriages together, and over time we dispersed. And so Di, it's her 50th birthday, and she wanted to come here, rent a house, bring the 3 couples together without their children to enjoy a few days. We're biking around the island, having a great time.
First time?
First time, yeah. Our friends actually own a place on Surfside, so we were able to rent their spot, and they rent it out as a rental. They come and maybe once, twice a year max, but they mainly rent it out.
What do you think of this place so far?
It's
I'm
great.
amazed. I'm
Never
amazed.
been here?
It's a beautiful spot. And,
51 years.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. I kind of wish it was a little more like Boulder, or a little bit more like Vermont in a way. You know, it used to be.
You know, there's an upscale quality to it.
Yeah.
Major
and-
league upscale.
Major
But you know
league.
what? When you go to that beach over there, the Cisco Beach that we went to,
Yeah.
I was like, there's no class right here,
Exactly.
right? You know, you're kind of in a spiritual place, really.
That's it.
Yeah,
So now, are you guys musicians? Is that you look like?
I play
it.
guitar.
Is it
He
for
plays.
a living?
No. Teacher.
You're a teacher.
Yes.
How about yourself?
I do software. I'm a software coder.
Oh yeah, you can do that in Vermont.
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got the.
But you can do it in Vermont. In
okay,
fact-
you're from Vermont.
Right.
I'm from Vermont.
Oh, okay.
And I'm
Right,
from
I got it
Colorado.
mixed
But
up.
you know, you'd be surprised at the kind of level of entrepreneurship in Boulder itself.
Oh.
There's a lot of startups happening, and
That's all I
high-tech
ever
is-
hear. I mean, Boulder is the happening place.
It's a
What
nice
about
place.
this? What about this thing with all the marijuana?
Medical?
How's that working out?
It's going great. Yeah, it's going great. No issues really. It's There's recreational pot.
That's what I
available.
heard. You can actually buy it recreationally.
Yeah, it's a
now.
30% tax on it.
Yeah.
There's medicinal, which has been around for a while,
Yeah.
which is significantly cheaper. If you want to buy rec, the quality is not as good. But you know, it's a mellow scene. You know, people aren't really going crazy because they can go off.
Does that remain to be seen though? I mean, what do
One
you
thing
think?
they have, you know about 420? Do you know 420? 420, I don't know, for some reason, it's 420 was a day where a kind of marijuana day or cannabis day, historically. I never knew about it, but at CU, which is University of Boulder, they basically shut down the university on 420 because you're getting a bit of a criminal activity coming into Boulder
Okay.
on 420.
Yeah.
But over, you know, Denver is probably a little bit more sketchier in certain areas. But in Boulder, there are 200 dispensaries, and it's a town of 100,000. So you can buy, you know, medical marijuana in 200 different places. And it's crazy, you know. People, I think cannabis tourism is going to be real big.
Do some of the people in Boulder have a major problem with this? I mean, and are they voicing it?
I don't think a lot of folks have major problems with it. I
Yeah.
think one thing about Colorado that we really don't know is that it's quite a libertarian kind of, you know, there's kind of it's blue-red.
And
but the
libertarian
red-
is the right word.
The red is more of libertarian. It's not, you know, socially conservatism. Although Colorado Springs is quite socially conservative. But in general, the state, especially the western part of the state, is like, you know, they're ranchers and you know, they don't want the government, you know, making decisions. So.
Do you think Colorado is trying to prove something by being the first and doing what the beginning?
I think the vision maybe is there for like Normal or some of the kind of the activists. I'm not an activist, so it's hard for me to say. But the people were encouraging and supportive of.
It felt more like an independent streak rather than.
It's
setting
the
an example.
libertarian. It's the libertarian, you know,
is.
kind of meeting of liberalism, and it's an interesting balance. Of course, Washington as well. But I know there's a couple of more states that are. I think New Mexico, or there were a couple of other states that were going to try to legalize it. But in terms of, you know,
I think
forget-
we're all waiting to see how Colorado.
I think it was $12 million they got in tax revenue in 1 month. So lots of cash, people spending money, lots of different forms. You can, and one of the things that people don't realize, and there's a cynical kind of side to this, is that it's truly a medicinal kind of, you know, substance. You get high, but there's a medicinal quality to it. And certainly people in Colorado, we have a friend who's got rheumatoid arthritis. She was like really, deteriorating so quickly, and then she got on this regiment of doing, and there's non-psychoactive cannabis, so you don't have to get high, and that's really what people are looking for, like for epilepsy and some of these other diseases. They don't want to get high; they just want kind of the medicinal quality of the plant, and it's available.
Yeah,
So
that's interesting. And so, which town in Vermont are you from?
We live in the Upper Valley, which is where Vermont and New Hampshire come together. Sort of the place you might have heard of is not so far from Hanover, Dartmouth College.
Oh, I know that area.
Yeah.
I actually, do you know Woodstock?
I do. Yeah,
Do you know the Woodstock Farmers Market?
I do. They have great ginger cookies
My
there.
mother started that.
Ginger molasses
wow,
cookies.
are you from Woodstock?
I lived
you
there
grow up there?
in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
And
you
my
go to
mother
Woodstock?
started
Were you
that.
Woodstock Wasp High School?
I went to Claremont, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I lived in Brownsville, where Mount Scottney
Yeah,
is.
I know where Brownsville is.
Of course.
We live in Thetford.
So of course.
Yeah.
Good old Vermont, man. I miss
Yeah.
it. Pretty much everybody
It's a
left.
great place.
And you're a teacher?
I am a teacher,
What do you teach?
middle school English teacher.
And are you from Vermont, or is it
No, we've been there for about 15 years.
came from?
Came from Colorado, where we lived with our friends, and
got it.
before that, I was born in Minnesota. He was born in Minnesota.
So you guys are
Yeah.
lifelong friends, it sounds like.
Well,
Since
Steve moved away
20
to Korea, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, my father was in the military, and so we moved to. I lived in Fort Lee, Virginia. I lived in Incheon, South Korea. We lived
Wow,
in
lots
New
of
York.
travel.
Yeah, so
That's great.
lots of movement as a child.
Wow, that's great.
But
Well,
now we've been kind of stable, and we very much like living in Vermont. Feels like living one way. It's another country, different kinds of values.
I
older
have a
world
house
values.
in Maine now,
Okay.
and when I first moved to Vermont in the 70s,
Yeah,
people weren't moving to Vermont then,
Yeah.
and I was an outcast. It was very hard to break into
Yeah.
the people there.
Yeah.
They did not appreciate.
no, it won't be your house there.
But it's
until
changed a
you,
lot since
you
then.
die. When,
Yeah, well, that's true. But
Yeah.
but
So the
so many
second
more
generation.
people from
Yeah.
away have moved
Yeah,
in there,
definitely.
and changed Vermont.
But I think
Or-
in some ways they've changed in a lot, and in other ways they haven't,
That's true.
because it's a hard enough place to live that you can't necessarily bring your values with you. You have to be used to sort of remote. You have to be used to cold.
Right.
You have to be used to doing without,
The
relying on
economy.
each other. The economy you
Right.
have to do with
They
less.
do not promote-
So it ends up that though it's different, there's still, I would say, a very strong sense of community values,
Yeah.
and a very strong sense of small-scale democracy. People don't do stuff for you; you have to do it together. So people are on the school board, they're on the library board, there's selectmen. People show up to town meeting. People hear each other's opinions.
one of the
It's not the
healthier
way it
country-
was.
states
It's,
in
the country.
it's not the way it was, but it's still quite different from many, many other places in America.
very different.
And strong farmers markets, strong local food. I would say a healthy lifestyle,
It's
a great
got
place to
that-
raise my children.
It's one of the healthiest states in the country, for sure,
Yeah.
health-wise.
Yeah.
And you got
And I would
Bernie
say-
Sanders
yeah.
to thank for that,
Thank
right?
you, Bernie Sanders. Yeah. Who was
Well, he
from
might be
away,
running for
and yet
president.
he
God,
now
that New
typica-
York
typ-
accent. I hope
yeah.
he never loses
Yeah.
it.
He might be running,
typifies
by the
Vermont.
way, for presidency.
Really?
Running. Yep.
Well,
We
He
need a
should.
progressive. Yeah.
get him out
Yeah.
there.
He's
Get that
done good
voice
things
out
for
there.
Vermont
Yeah, I like him.
politically. I like where we
Absolutely.
are.
But this is a great place. We're lucky to be here, and the people are friendly.
They are
and,
friendly.
we're just kind of enjoying being together, and the beautiful, just the beaches and the island, and we're having a great
I'm
time.
not sure about all the big cars on the small
A
streets.
lot of large cars, SUVs.
Yeah, I like that.
Interesting.
Tell us. Yes,
It's
I
a little
agree
bit-
with you.
It's a little bit surprising, and also one of the things that we're biking, and people you would think that they would be happy that people are biking around.
Oh, yeah.
But the cars are very impatient to get to the next stop sign.
Good
So-
point.
So
Good
I
point.
felt like there was a little bit of a rushing where
Yes,
this
there is.
Let's
And
go
I would,
slow.
I would say, from a civic point of view, there's been a lot of investment in the bike paths.
Yes.
So I appreciate that.
Yes.
But so there's some sort of political or cultural structure that said, let's use bikes, let's make it safe, but when you're on the road, the people who are driving those big cars are not necessarily thinking that way. They're like in a
That's a
hurry.
good point.